Did you know that Tauruses have incredible potential to thrive in the year 2025? What if I told you there are 12 specific steps that can completely transform the lives of those born under the sign of Taurus in the coming months? Imagine being able to unlock all the strengths and determination that already exists within you, but which may be dormant or misdirected. If you're a Taurus or know someone who is, this video will reveal ancient secrets that could change everything. The truth is that 2025 is a year of unique opportunities for Taurus, but only those who follow these specific steps will be able to harness all this cosmic energy to their advantage. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have luck in everything, while others constantly struggle? The difference isn't chance, but how each sign aligns with universal energies. For Taurus, this is the perfect time to awaken your true prosperous nature. In this video, you'll discover the 12 fundamental steps every Taurus needs to follow to attract abundance, success, and personal fulfillment. But be careful. If you don't apply these guidelines in the coming months, you could miss a unique window of opportunity that won't open again until a few years from now. Stay until the end because the last step is the most powerful of all and will surprise you with its simplicity and effectiveness. Get ready to discover how your Taurus nature can be your greatest asset in this year that promises to be transformative. Step 1. Recognize your natural inner strength. Every Taurus carries within them an impressive strength, but many don't know how to access it properly. This strength isn't just physical. It's an energy that comes from the earth, from stability, and from the ability to persevere even when everything seems difficult. The first step to thriving is recognizing that you already have everything you need within you. The Taurus sign's nature is linked to patience and determination. While other signs might give up at the first hurdle, Taurus has the unique ability to keep going, even when the path seems impossible. This is their greatest asset, but it can also be a trap if not properly guided. Tauruses often sabotage themselves because they believe they need external approval to validate their decisions. This happens because they are naturally cautious and prefer safety to risk. However, in 2025, the universe is asking you to trust your intuition more and trust less what others think. To activate this inner strength, start each morning by remembering your past achievements. Whether small or large, the important thing is to recognize that you've overcome challenges before and can overcome them again. This is the foundation for everything that lies ahead. Taurus's strength also lies in its ability to put down deep roots. Just as a strong tree needs solid roots, your prosperity depends on being grounded in who you are. Stop trying to be like other signs and embrace your unique nature. Step 2. Free yourself from the excessive comfort zone. The comfort zone is both Taurus's greatest strength and greatest weakness. You are masters at creating stability and security, but sometimes that stability turns into stagnation. To thrive in 2025, it's essential to break some patterns that no longer serve you. The problem isn't liking comfort. The problem is when comfort becomes a prison. Many Taurians find themselves trapped in unfulfilling jobs, relationships that have grown cold, or routines that don't add value simply because they're afraid of change. This year calls for courage to break out of this trap. Change for a Taurus doesn't have to be radical or sudden. In fact, the best transformations for this sign happen gradually and in a planned way. Start by identifying an area of your life that has been stagnant for a long time. It could be work, relationships, health, or even hobbies. A powerful technique is to create small, weekly changes. If you always take the same route to work, change your route. If you always eat the same thing for breakfast, try something new. These small pattern breaks will prepare your mind for bigger changes. Remember that leaving your comfort zone doesn't mean giving up security. It means expanding your safety zone. It's like renovating a house. You don't tear it all down at once. You gradually make improvements until the end result is completely transformed. This is the ideal path for Taurus to thrive. Step 3. Cultivate strategic patience. There's a big difference between passive patience and strategic patience. Passive patience is waiting for things to happen on their own, while strategic patience is knowing the right moment to act while constantly preparing for the perfect opportunity. This is a natural Taurian skill that needs to be refined. In 2025, the universe will test your ability to wait for the right results, not just quick ones. We live in a world that values speed over quality, but Taurus has the advantage of understanding that the best things take time to manifest. Think of a farmer planting seeds. He doesn't dig the soil every day to see if the seed is germinating, knowing that would hinder the process. At the same time, he doesn't remain completely passive. He waters, tends the soil, and protects the crop. This is strategic patience in action. To apply this to your life, set long-term goals and break them down into smaller steps. Each small achievement is like watering a plant, a necessary step toward the final result. Don't despair if results don't appear immediately. Trust the process and keep working consistently. Strategic patience also means knowing when not to act. Sometimes the best decision is to wait a little longer, observe the situation more closely, or wait for more favorable conditions. Taurians have this natural wisdom, but they need to rely more on it and less on external pressure to make hasty decisions. Now, before we move on to the next step, I need to ask you something very important. If this video resonates with you, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any content about astrology and spirituality. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I want to know where the most determined Tauruses in the world are. Step 4. Develop a solid abundance mindset. Taurus's abundance mindset is different from that of other signs. While some signs dream of riches falling from the sky, Taurus understands that true abundance comes from consistent work and appreciating what they already have. This is a huge advantage that needs to be maximized. The problem is that many Tauruses confuse abundance mentality with conformity. They think, I already have enough, I don't need more. But true abundance isn't about having a lot. It's about a constant flow of growth and opportunities. It's about expanding your possibilities without losing your essence. To develop this mindset, start by practicing gratitude daily, but don't stop there. After recognizing what you already have, visualize how you can multiply those blessings. If you're healthy, how can you have even more vitality? If you have a job, how can you grow in it or find better opportunities? A powerful technique for Taurus is to create a mental garden of abundance. Imagine that each area of your life is like a garden that can be cultivated. Your relationship is one garden, your career is another, and your health is another. Like a good gardener, you need to tend to them all, but you can focus more energy on those that are ready to bloom. Solid abundance also means building multiple sources of prosperity. Don't rely solely on your salary. Don't rely solely on one person. Don't rely solely on one skill. Diversify your ways of receiving income, but do so in a planned and consistent way, the way Taurus does best. Step 5. Strengthen your relationships with purpose. Tauruses are naturally loyal and value lasting relationships, but sometimes this loyalty can become a burden when it's not reciprocated. In 2 Size 25, it's crucial to learn to strengthen the relationships that truly matter and have the courage to walk away from those that drain your energy. A healthy relationship for a Taurus is one where there's reciprocity, mutual growth, and respect for the sign's stable nature. This doesn't mean everyone around you needs to be like you, but it does mean they need to value your unique qualities and not constantly try to change you. Start by taking inventory of your current relationships. Which people support you through difficult times? Which encourage you to grow without trying to force you to be someone you're not? Which respect your pace and your way of processing situations? These are the people who deserve more of your time and energy. On the other hand, identify those relationships that only bring drama, pressure, or negative energy. It's not about cutting people out of your life abruptly, but about establishing healthy boundaries and gradually investing less energy in those connections that don't add value. To strengthen good relationships, use your greatest asset, consistency. Be present consistently, not just during special moments. Remember that small, regular gestures have much more impact than large, sporadic displays. This is the love language Taurus speaks best. Step 6. Transform your stubbornness into focused determination. Stubbornness is a defining characteristic of Taurus, and it can be both a blessing and a curse. When directed correctly, it becomes unwavering determination that achieves any goal. When misdirected, it becomes obstinacy that impedes growth and generates unnecessary conflict. The difference between negative stubbornness and positive determination lies in focus. Negative stubbornness clings to things that no longer work. Bad jobs, toxic relationships, harmful habits. Positive determination focuses on goals that truly matter and are worth fighting for. To make this transformation, whenever you feel yourself being stubborn, stop and ask yourself, am I fighting for something that will get me where I want to go? Or am I just resisting change out of fear? This simple question can revolutionize your decisions and save you a lot of wasted energy. A powerful technique is to redirect your stubbornness into positive habits. If you're going to be stubborn about exercise, healthy eating, studying, and saving money. Transform your natural resistance into a force that works for you, not against you. Remember that true strength lies not in never giving in, but in knowing when it's worth persisting and when it's better to seek alternative paths. The wisest Taurians are those who use their determination as a precise tool, not a sledgehammer that smashes everything in its path. Step 7. Create organization systems that work for you. Tauruses have a natural need for order and organization, but they often try to follow systems created by other personality types that simply don't work for them. In 2025, it's time to create your own systems that respect your unique way of functioning. The ideal organization for a Taurus isn't one that looks pretty on social media. It's one that works in real life and can be maintained long-term. You need simple, practical systems that don't require constant change. Too much complexity generates stress and system abandonment. Start organizing one room at a time, but do it thoroughly. It's better to have one room perfectly organized than the whole house half organized. Once one space is working well, move on to the next. This gradual approach is much more effective for Taurus. In your digital life, follow the rule of simplicity. Have a few apps that truly work for you. Create clear folders on your computer and phone. Keep your social media organized and free of information that doesn't add value. Digital clutter affects you just as much as physical clutter. The most important thing is to create rituals to maintain these systems. Set aside a few minutes each day to stay organized. For Taurus, it's much easier to maintain than to constantly reorganize. Invest time in creating good systems from the start, and your life will become much more fluid. Step 8. Develop a healthy relationship with money. Taurians have a natural connection with material and financial matters, but this connection isn't always healthy. Some become overly attached to money out of insecurity, while others neglect their finances because they believe that money isn't everything. Balance is essential for prosperity. A healthy relationship with money for a Taurus means seeing it as a tool for security and freedom, not as an end in itself. Money should work for you, providing the stability you value and the opportunity to enjoy life's simple pleasures. Start by creating a realistic budget that includes both necessities and small pleasures. Taurus needs a little indulgence to feel motivated to save. If the budget is too restrictive, you'll end up abandoning everything and spending out of control. Invest in financial knowledge, but focus on conservative, long-term strategies. Taurians aren't cut out for risky speculation or get-rich-quick schemes. Opt for solid investments that grow slowly but surely. Make a habit of saving money automatically. set up an automatic transfer to savings as soon as you receive your paycheck. Since Taurians are creatures of habit, making saving a routine is much more effective than relying on willpower. Step 9. Nourish your body like a sacred temple. The physical body is extremely important to Taurus because it's through it that you connect with the material world and experience pleasure in life. Neglecting your physical health directly affects your ability to thrive in all other areas. The ideal approach to Taurus health isn't radical or extreme. They need gradual changes that can be maintained long term. Overly restrictive diets or intense exercise often fail because they go against the sign's stable nature. Start by making small improvements to your diet. Swap one processed food for a natural one each week. Gradually add more vegetables to your meals. Drink more water, but don't force yourself to drink unreasonable amounts. The key is consistency, not perfection. For exercise, choose activities you truly enjoy and can do regularly. It could be walking, dancing, swimming, gardening, or anything that moves your body in a pleasurable way. Taurians respond best to exercise when it doesn't feel like a boring obligation. Rest is as important as activity for this sign. Create relaxation rituals that calm your nervous system. This could be a warm bath, a massage, soft music, or anything that brings you peace. Remember that rest isn't a waste of time. It's an investment in future productivity. Step 10. Cultivate hobbies that feed your soul. Tauruses need activities that bring genuine pleasure, not just productivity. In a world that values only financial results, it's revolutionary to dedicate time to hobbies that simply make you feel good and connected to yourself. These hobbies serve as stress releases and sources of creative energy. When Taurus is satisfied with their enjoyable activities, they become more productive and focused in all other areas of life. It's an investment that pays off multiplied. Choose hobbies that engage your senses. Tauruses are sensory beings who nourish themselves through touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing. This could be cooking, gardening, crafts, music, painting, or any activity that allows for this sensory connection. Don't turn your hobbies into obligations or sources of income unless it happens naturally. The value of these moments lies precisely in being free from pressure and expectations. It's time when you can simply be without needing to produce or impress anyone. Defend this time as if it was sacred. Others may not understand why you waste time on hobbies, but you know that this time nourishes your soul and renews your energy. Without it, life becomes nothing but work and obligations, which is toxic for anyone, especially Taurus. Step 11. Practice the art of assertive communication. Many Tauruses struggle with communication because they prefer to avoid conflict and maintain peace. However, this strategy often creates more problems than solutions. Learning to communicate assertively is essential to thriving in relationships and opportunities. Assertive communication isn't aggressive, it's respectful clarity. It's being able to express your needs, opinions, and limits without attacking others, but also without negating yourself. This is a skill that can be developed and can completely transform your quality of life. Start by practicing in small, safe situations. If the waiter brings the wrong order, practice politely but firmly asking for a change. If someone cuts in line, practice standing your ground without aggression. These small practices build confidence for larger situations. Learn to say no without over-excusing yourself. Tauruses tend to give a million explanations when they say no, which can sound like excuses or leave room for insistence. A simple "I can't" or "I don't care" is enough most of the time. When you need to have a difficult conversation, prepare yourself mentally beforehand. Think about what you want to say, the outcome you want to achieve, and keep your focus on the problem, not the person. Taurians are naturally diplomatic when they feel safe. Use this skill to your advantage. Step 12. Connect with your greater life. Purpose. This is the most powerful step of all. because it connects everything you've learned so far to a greater meaning. Tauruses who truly thrive are those who find a purpose that goes beyond their own personal satisfaction and contributes to something greater. Your purpose doesn't have to be saving the world or building $1 million company. It could be raising children with strong values, being a professional who truly makes a difference in people's lives, preserving important traditions, or anything that resonates deeply with who you are. To discover your purpose, look at what you do naturally well and what also benefits others. Taurians have unique gifts of stability, loyalty, practicality, and persistence. How can these gifts serve the world in meaningful ways? Don't rush to find your ultimate purpose. Sometimes it reveals itself through experiences, sometimes through deep reflection. The important thing is to be open to recognizing it when it appears and have the courage to follow it, even if it's different from what you imagined. When you connect your Taurian nature to a higher purpose, all your strength and determination multiply. You're no longer just fighting for your personal needs. You're contributing to something that will continue to exist after you. This is the source of true, lasting prosperity. Now you know the 12 steps that can completely transform your experience as a Taurus in 2025. Each step is a piece of a larger puzzle that, when completed, reveals your full potential for prosperity and fulfillment. Remember that Taurus's strength lies in consistency, not speed. You don't need to apply all of these steps at once. Choose the one that resonates most with you at this moment and start there. Once that one is well established, move on to the next. The universe is offering unique opportunities for Taurus this year, but only those who are prepared will be able to take full advantage of them. Your stable and determined nature is exactly what the world needs in this time of so much change and uncertainty. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 12 steps resonated most with you? Which will you start implementing first? Share your experience as a Taurus in the comments and how you plan to use these guidelines to thrive even more. If this video was helpful to you, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to receive more content on astrology and personal development. Share this video with other Tauruses you know, because together you can create a powerful support network to achieve your goals.